Can you really become an embedded systems engineer without a degree? Well, meet Manie. He skipped the traditional degree path and still landed a real job in this tech. Video. He's breaking down exactly how he did the skills and the advice for beginners. And yes, we are even talking salary. So if you've ever wondered what does an embedded systems engineer actually do and how much they make, stay tuned because you don't want to miss this.
Yeah, my name is Manie, and I am a junior embedded systems engineer, which basically means I work with microcontrollers and all that. I have to write firmware for microcontrollers. Yes, that's what I do.
Okay. So, what are some of the tools or software do you need to study to become?
Okay, so if I get you right, like the background.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I don't have a background in electrical engineering or anything, or in embedded systems. It's just the job I was hired into. I got in there without a degree, so that's why I am. But ideally, if you want to get into such a role and you don't want to take the long way that I did, you probably have to go do like computer science or computer electronics or electrical engineering or something in the uni before. Yes.
Okay. So, do you need to know how to program or code in Java or any Linux or something? Do you use?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So for the role I'm in, we use C. Well, I use C primarily, right? So C programming language. And then my teammates also sometimes use Verilog. So we don't use Java for hardware programming. We only use maybe C, some assembly. I don't do assembly though, but then C assembly and then Verilog and sometimes C++. But again, what I do at work is just C programming. So I write the firmware and then I move from there. Yeah.
What's the salary range for someone like you?
Ideally in Ghana or globally?
Both.
Okay, so in Ghana here, it's not a very popular role. As in, it's not very big. We are not really a hardware focused country yet. So I'd say between 5K to 10K we are starting out. That's for a very good company, right? But globally, you should be looking at like maybe $2,000 a month or something. Yes, if you are solid and all that. Yes.
So, do you guys still use AI in your?
That's a very interesting question because AI in our field is not very common. Unlike maybe in web development or something, it's not very common because we are working so close to what we call bare metal, or we are working close to the metal. So we don't have the luxury of AI. But if I have to use AI to maybe solve a problem, sure. But we don't usually rely on AI for hardware level stuff.
Do you think AI is making developers smarter or lazy?
I'll say both. Actually, yes, I'll say both. Because if you have to be very deliberate about how you use AI, right? If, for instance, you decide to delegate all your thinking or your learning to AI, I believe it just makes you dumber in the long run. Maybe dumb is a strong word, but it makes you less reliable, right? It makes you less competent in the long run. But if you're already using AI to maximize your productivity in a sense where you know what you're doing, but then you're using AI to probably sharpen that tool in a bit, it makes you smarter and it keeps you ahead of a lot of people. Yes.
That's good. One last question. What one piece of advice will you give to someone who wants to get into embedded systems?
To get into embedded systems, it's a very niche field.
Do you recommend?
Would I recommend? Of course, I recommend someone to join, but then it's not an easy field to be in because one, you don't have the luxury of maybe a screen. So let's say a typical maybe web developer, you don't have the luxury of a full display where you can maybe print to the screen and I see, okay, at this point in time, my code was doing this. we don't have that library. We are working with the hardware straight, so we can't really print to any screen or any. Maybe you can use a protocol UART to print to your terminal, but it's very difficult, right? So if you're looking to get into embedded systems, you probably have to be very intentional about that. You have to learn a lot about what goes on at the lower part of the computer. You have to be very curious. Yes. If you're not curious enough, you feel like you're not doing much, and then you just drop it and then move on, which is fine. But as I keep moving forward, always keep moving forward, keep learning. Don't stop. Always keep learning.
Thank you so much.